Hello, this is Inside the Press Box with Sunil Sunder Raj of the Everyday Fan Sports. Today, I'm happy to be speaking with Jay Simon, the new head boys basketball coach of Iowa Colony High School in Iowa Colony, Texas. Coach Simon, once again, thank you for taking some time out to speak with me today. Congratulations on the new position. And yeah, just wanted to ask you how exciting this is, to be, the head boys basketball coach there at Iowa Colony High School.
Well, I appreciate you having me, man. It's very exciting to be the new head basketball coach at Iowa Colony. It's very exciting because it's a lot of talent in that area. I've kind of been a fan from afar, just watching that area grow with talent and produce so many great athletes over the years. Very rich in tradition in the school district. And it's just, it's really a pleasure to be the head basketball coach at Iowa Colony.
Yeah. And before we go on the air, Coach, you were able to provide some background info just on the high school and that. So I wanted to give you the floor just in terms of just talking about a new high school here. If you can, let everybody out there know about it.
I'm sorry, say that question again.
About Iowa Colony High School, just a new high school here. You provided some background info before we came on the air, so just wanted to, so you could let the viewers out there know just about the setup, this year with the high school here, in terms.
Yeah, so we'll be opening up with 9th and 10th graders to start off. And then each year we'll add a grade, but we're just opening up with 9th and 10th. So we'll be a small classification at 4A, but then the next couple of years we'll be 5A, and then we'll probably grow some more and end up being 6A in the next 4 years. So it's a new community out there, and it's growing in that Iowa Colony area. A lot of new subdivisions and families are moving in. From what I'm hearing, it's like backed up, like as far as registration. There's so many families moving in and trying to enroll. So we're looking to grow in the next couple years. I mean, grow fast because it's a lot of new subdivisions out there and new development out there.
Yeah, no, that's outstanding. Hey, just talk about the high school itself, Coach Simon. Just facilities, with the strength and conditioning, with the basketball gym. Just had to ask you just your first impressions and just what you've been able to witness, just if we can talk about that aspect as well.
So we've been doing our off-season stuff now. The campus isn't all the way finished because they're still working on a lot of things. So we've been kind of working out at the local middle school or feeder school. But from the pictures and from what I'm hearing from administration, the facilities are amazing. We'll have 3 gyms. We'll have 2 weight rooms, just state-of-the-art equipment, and the gyms look amazing from the pictures that I've seen. And we're just excited, man. We haven't, as far as the coaches and athletes, we haven't been on campus yet. But we've been seeing pictures, and we kind of drive by the campus just to kind of, because we're excited.
Yeah.
Man, it looks amazing, man. It's a beautiful school. It looks like a college campus, man. So, everybody's excited about it in the community, and we're just ready to get started in the fall, man. It's going to be fun going to the football games and, different things like that, because everything's a first, man. When you're opening up a school, first football game, first pep rally, first person to practice in the gym, first person to use the weight room, so it's awesome, man. We're all excited, man. We can't wait to touch down on campus, man, in August.
Yeah, no, I agree. And to, build that culture, build that, winning environment, because you need that base and that foundation. So I'm just wondering, Coach, I know I saw on Twitter, tradition starts now, blaze the trail, just talk about that, that motto is said for Iowa Colony High School.
Yeah, blaze the trail. It is our motto. We want to be the first to do, different things, at our school. We are going to be the first because it's a new school. And since we're the pioneers, blaze the trail, was the perfect motto slogan. So, you know, we want to be the first in a lot of things, you know, academics, athletics. And then, you know, we want to, like you said, we want to start a great culture, tradition, you know, and, you know, I put that on Twitter, tradition starts now, for the simple fact, man, you know, these kids coming in are going to be the first class to start those traditions and start a new culture. And, you know, it's going to be some learning pains, you know, here and there, but, you know, just know that whatever success we have, or, you know, in the future or now or whenever, you started it, you know, and that's pretty cool to say, you know, once you finished your high school career, to say you started this, you know, we were the first class to do that. So anything we start, you know, culture, tradition wise, starts with this class. So, you know, we're trying to get that into them, you know, and get them to realize, like, hey, man, this is pretty amazing. Not a lot of kids get to open up a school and be the first to do a lot of things. So any type of tradition starts now. And, you know, we're looking to blaze the trail for the future classes. So.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. Hey, just talk about so far. What do you see? What are your expectations for this year's team? You know, in terms of, you know, I said the roster that you've assembled, and just in terms of the coaching staff. Just wanted to ask you about that as well, Coach Simon.
I think we'll be pretty solid. Obviously, we'll be young, but we have some great talent coming in from what I've seen in the workouts. I think we'll be guard heavy. We have a lot of athletic, quick guards. We pulled from some schools, from a couple feeder schools and a couple of the high schools. So it's a mixture of kids. So it'll be a little different because kids are coming from different backgrounds from the schools that we pull from, to get them all on the same page. And, you know, because they've all learned different things from their programs coming in. So we're all trying to get them on the same page. But to our surprise in workouts, man, they've really caught on quick on what we're trying to put in as far as defense and offense. You know, they're good kids. They work hard. They want to put in that extra work. You know, but we're predicted to be solid. You know, like I said, we'll have some growing pains just because we'll be starting off, 9th and 10th. So we'll be starting off playing varsity out of the gate. So we'll be putting, you know, freshmen and sophomores on the court and on the fields and different places. So, but the kids are working hard. You know, like I said, it's going to be a learning curve here and there. You know, because we're not going into it with juniors and seniors, with a lot of upperclassmen that can kind of, you know, so, you know, our sophomores are kind of our upperclassmen. So it's kind of like, you know, you're teaching them things, and, you know, you just got to be patient. And that's what I've been telling the other coaches, you know, just be, you know, we got to remember that they are 9th and 10th graders. So we have to be patient. Some of these kids just, you know, went to their 8th grade prom, you know, so you know, we just gotta be patient, and, you know, it's not gonna all come together the first day, second day, maybe not even the third. We may not hit our stride till district, but it'll come together once they get it. You know, the sky's gonna be the limit. But we're very excited about the young talent that we have on the football field and on the basketball court, because we have a lot of dual sport players that play both. So, you know, in our workouts, they'll do their football workouts, and then they'll come and do their basketball workouts, even when they're tired, you know. So that shows me a lot. Like, they're willing to, you know, put in the extra work, you know. So, you know, I think we're going to be, you know, before, you know, I've seen a lot of the kids in the workouts. I was talking to some of the other assistants, and I'm like, you know, I don't know, man. We're 9th and 10th graders. It might be a slow start for us, but once they got on the court and started getting up and down and doing the drills and everything, I'm like, wow, we should be pretty solid, you know. So I think the district's very competitive, but I think we'll be fine. I think we'll be right in the mix.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Hey, I wanted to ask you, just what does a daily schedule entail for you, Coach? You know, from morning till night. What is it? You know, I said that there's a lot of build up to this. As you know, especially as a head coach, it's 24/7, 365. So I had to ask you just what, that grind is every day for you here.
Man, it's, we put a lot into it, man. I mean, we've been doing the power camp with the kids. So we'll get to campus like 8 to 10. And then the kids are doing weights and conditioning. And then they do their sports specific stuff with their coaches. So football will go from 10 to 11 to do their football stuff. And then we start at 11 with basketball kids. And, we'll go from 11 to 12 for basketball. So the kids that are going from 11 to 12, they're getting after it. And then we kind of get the football players after their workout that play basketball. They come, and they get an extra workout in. So, the kids are essentially, man, they're going from 8 to 12, man. I mean, with their weightlifting, conditioning, sports specific for football and basketball, it's just, I admire them, man, for being able to, really be, on top of it and getting after it.
Yeah.
And then on our end as coaches, man, we're just kind of evaluating kids, seeing who can do what, and it's a good time that they're on the court now because we're kind of, evaluating them, seeing what works and what doesn't work. So I go home and, I look at the depth chart and see like, okay, he's good at this or he's good at that. We're not very good at this particular part of the game. Let's throw that out. So we're kind of us as in the coaching staff, we're kind of seeing what best fits our players. So we're doing that 24/7. We're constantly talking to each other on the phone, like this kid could play here and, this doesn't work well for us. So let's throw that out and add this. Yeah. So it's constant, man, for us. I mean, because we're constantly trying to see, or put our kids in a position that'll make them successful, because this is huge for our community, man. I wouldn't say it's not any pressure, but it's one of those deals where you want to see the kids successful because it's the new school. It's in a district that's been very successful in athletics. Yeah. So you want to carry it on, man. So we're constantly, me and the coaching staff constantly going over things that, can make us successful defensively, offensively, looking at film, seeing what kids are best in certain situations. So we're looking at all that stuff now to get ready for the season, because we want to, we're competitive, we want to win, and, we want to, show the community that, Iowa Colony's here. And it's something to be excited about. So, it's a constant grind for us, man. We've been getting after it at the power camp, for most of the summer. So, and then we're not on our campus. So that's another grind. So, we're at the middle school where the facilities aren't as big, so we're trying to, figure out, with all these kids, how to adjust with the amount of space that we have. So, we've been kind of doing that and kind of adjusting to that. And, but everything's been falling into place, man. It hasn't been, too crazy as far as us being on another campus working out. I think the middle schools have done a great job helping us out, letting us use their facilities. And the kids have been showing up, working hard. And then the coaches have been grinding it out every day, coming up with game plans, getting ready for their season. So, but we've had volleyballs on campus, on the middle school campus, basketball, football, tennis. So we're all just kind of
the whole gamut. Yeah,
man. Yeah. So the coaches are just getting after it, man, getting ready for our seasons, man.
Yeah, no, that's great. Hey, talk about administration, athletic department, because I've always talked with the athletes about how you need that structure. You need from top to bottom. That's so essential in terms of having a successful program, a winning program. Just talk about so far your interaction with the administration, athletic departments as well.
The administration has been awesome. I think we have the best, athletic department as far as district and administrators, in this area, man. They've been very supportive. Coach Garza, our AD, has been amazing. Anything that we need as coaches, he's there. We can talk to him about anything, any situations we have. He's been supportive. Our principal, Miss Marquez, has been awesome. You know, she's real supportive of athletics, very positive. Just last week she came and talked to our athletes at our power camp and bought them ice cream and popsicles and stuff. Just cool stuff like that, man, goes a long way. They're very supportive. They're open book. If we have any problems or issues, we go to them, and it's not any. But their door is always open, man. And myself as well as the other coaches have been very, very happy so far as the support, man. That goes a long way. I'm very blessed and honored to be working under Ms. Marquez and Coach Garza.
Yeah, that's fabulous. I wanted to just go back to with the athletes in terms of you talked about the strength and conditioning practices and scrimmages, but there's also nutrition, mental health, social media. Those components are also important to deal with. I'm wondering how, especially in this day and age with the athletes, how you guys, you and the rest of the coaching staff, just, again, tackling those issues as well, Coach Simon.
Yeah. With us having the workouts that we do and the kids getting after it, not days are, with the humidity here and the heat, we've been getting after them as far as nutrition. We have a great athletic training staff that, talks to them about nutrition and putting the right things in their body so that you can get the most out of your body. So we've been, stressing to them, hydrate, kind of giving them, a menu of different things to eat to keep their energy, stuff like that, man. But that's been a big deal, with the kids, going from, middle school to high school. And then the ones that have already did a year of high school, they're still young and don't really know what to put in their body. So we've been kind of, stressing to them, water, Gatorade, peanut butter, different things that's, that'll give them the energy they need to get through their workout. So they're still learning too, with them being young, on what to eat, what not to eat. We stress to them to bring snacks, because and part of the workout, it's like a dead period for like an hour. So we'll, they bring their snacks and different things like that to keep their body going. But yeah, man, you gotta hydrate. You gotta put the right stuff in your body. And we have a really, really good athletic training staff, man, that gets on them about that. And they're out there every day, and they have their different, energy chews and different stuff like that. So we've been really stressing that nutrition is the most important thing.
Yeah, that's tremendous. I mean, this is a big adjustment for these kids, as you said, going from middle school to high school. I mean, it's almost like, culture shock for them. But and then we talk about, I mean, they're just not athletes, they're student athletes. So they're making that jump now where the stakes are a lot higher in terms of, your grades. I mean, the fact that you have to keep up with your work, you have to be on, top, your homework, tests, you name it. So I'm just wondering how you guys are preparing, these athletes, for that moment once they, do, step into Iowa, Colony High School in September, Coach Simon.
Yeah. So academics, most importantly, the kid, like you said, the kids are coming from middle school to high school. So it's an enormous jump. On top of the sports that they're in, a high percentage of our kids are playing multiple sports. So with us being 9th and 10th graders, kids are crossing over doing different things on top of, being on top of the athletics. But their academics, I'm sorry. We'll be doing different things with them. We'll have, I've talked to mine about, different, we'll be implementing different study hall sessions, different things like that, peer tutorials, where we'll do different things, where we'll partner up with kids in the different programs who are strong in certain areas to tutor other kids in other areas and vice versa. So we'll be implementing a lot of peer tutorials, different things like that. Obviously a lot of grade checks, we'll do grade checks and making sure kids are on top of things and put them on a track to, graduation where they can figure out, by their senior year, what they'll be majoring in and different things like that. But the main thing is, like you said, staying on top of, their academics first. And with them being so young that they, sometimes it takes a little bit long for them to understand the importance of, take care of your business now. Yeah. So when you're a senior, you don't have to worry about any mistakes you made during your 9th and 10th grade year, but we want them to get on top of everything, giving them dates on SAT dates and different stuff like that. We got a lot of great kids, man. They just by talking to them and, them letting us know what they want to major in and stuff like that. They have a good foundation already. We just want to kind of be mentors and guide them through the process. Yeah. Being successful academically.
Yeah, that's an excellent point you made. I think just not about being coaches, but teachers and mentors, and having that blueprint from day one. I think, again, as you said, and then by the time they evolve and get to reach their senior year, everything is, is come together, as said fluently. I want to ask you, I think before I said you became the head coach here at Iowa Colony High School. I think you were at Leaf Taylor High School. Talk about your time there, and then I don't know, maybe you already, talked about just what made Iowa Colony High School the perfect fit for you, Coach Simon.
So I was at, this past year, I was at A-Leaf Taylor High School and A-Leaf ISD in the Houston area. Before that, I was in Fort Bend ISD for most of my career. And Fort Bend is kind of next door to Iowa Colony as far as districts. Okay. So in the past, we would play them every so often, the teams from Alvin ISD. But I've always liked the area. I've always liked how athletics was ran. And Alvin ISD, I think they put a lot of importance into athletics, and I've always, from afar, I've always liked how they've done things. And I knew, once Iowa Colony opened, I thought it would be, I knew it would be a great opportunity to look into that. Great area, great kids, and from the middle schools and the other surrounding high schools, the way they've always been successful at doing things the right way. I just thought it was an opportunity that I couldn't pass up. We've won, as far as the district, we've won state championships in football. We've won state championships in softball. We won state championships in girls basketball. We've gone deep in the playoffs in boys basketball. So I wanted to be a part of that tradition in Alvin ISD, and kind of add on to that, by getting Iowa Colony off and running. So we put together a pretty good coaching staff, and like I said, the administrators have been awesome, and I think they're going to, do a great job in leading the Iowa Colony Pioneers into the future, man. Great community, and that's what I've always admired. So that's why, I was like, I got to look into it, and so awesome opportunity that I just couldn't pass up. Leaving A-Leaf was great. My year in A-Leaf ISD was awesome. We had great athletes. And A-Leaf Taylor had a great tradition of producing NFL players and different things like that. It was hard leaving those kids after a year, but like I said, it was just an opportunity that I couldn't pass up. That's just that's the business of coaching. I know. But I made some great, so a lot of kids that I'm going to keep in contact with in A-Leaf. My next chapter in Iowa Colony will still be in contact, but amazing tradition in the in Alvin ISD, amazing tradition, and I'm glad that I'm a part of it.
Yeah, no, that's wonderful. You had a remarkable journey, said not only playing basketball, but also coaching. Born and raised in Houston, Texas, a graduate of Dulles High School. where you played basketball for 4 years, earned a scholarship to Western Oklahoma State University, finished up your college at Livingston College in North Carolina. I'm just wondering, those early years, you said, playing basketball, then of course, both high school and college, what that taught you early on. And then, of course, then eventually starting your coaching career at Dulles Middle School, then moving on to Hightower High School. Just talk about those early years in terms of playing basketball and then coaching as well, Coach Simon.
I think, I didn't start playing basketball, organized basketball, to the 9th grade when I got to Dulles High School. Dulles High School had great programs in basketball, boys basketball, girls basketball. So entering high school, I was fortunate enough to be under, a great coach, and Mike Carabine, who's won over 700 games. He's in the Hall of Fame, different things like that. So I started my career, under a good umbrella of coaching, and I've just, he kind of put the seed, he planted the seed in me to one day be a coach, because he used to, give me college basketball tickets to go to college games and stuff like that. Because the high school coaches used to get those tickets for free to the HBU games, the Rice games, the U of H games. So he used to always give them to me. And then I would come back the next day and he would kind of, quiz me or ask me questions about, so what happened at the game? Like, what did they run offensively and defense? Different stuff like that. Yeah. So, he just taught me a lot about the game, Mike Carabine. And, I had an amazing career at Dulles High School, just, being under him and learning the game. And we were successful, and I just took that, and I just, took my talent as far as, because I knew that I always wanted to be a coach. I didn't, ever look at it as I'm going to get to the NBA. I always wanted to be a coach. So, I just used my talent to, give me a scholarship to get to college and just learn the game even more from college coaches. So, it's kind of a deal where, don't let the system use you. You kind of take advantage of the system type deal. So once I signed to go to college in Oklahoma, I knew I wanted to be a coach. So I would just always pick my college coach's brain and different things like that. And learn the intensity of practices and different things, and just going back to my dorm room and putting it in my notebook, different things we learned and different drills that we did to kind of save in my little notebook. So when I become a coach, I could do the same thing. So as I was in college, I was, of course, playing at a high level, learning different, backgrounds of my teammates from different parts of the country. But I was also, learning the game as to one day be a future coach. So once I finished up my college career, I came back home from North Carolina, and I got my first coaching job at Dulles Middle. That's kind of where all coaches start off at, is in junior high. So I was pretty excited about that. And Dulles Middle was kind of home to me because it's right next door to the high school. So that I graduated from. So I was at Dulles Middle, coaching, every sport, football, basketball, and track. And it just taught me a lot, man, how to manage teams. Because obviously I was young out of college, but starting off in middle school taught me how to manage teams and kind of, be a leader per se, as far as, managing different personalities, game plans, and different stuff like that. So from Dulles Middle School, I got the opportunity to go to Hightower High School, which if you know anything about athletics in Fort Bend area, I mean, Hightower High School is like a juggernaut in basketball and football, girls basketball, boys. I mean, they're just amazing. So I got an opportunity to go to Hightower, where I coached for 4 years, and we had some amazing players, man. Daniel House, that played for the Rockets, was one of our players. Just different players from around the Missouri City area that went to Hightower. We just had a great opportunity of coaching them, and we made runs. I coached both girls and boys at Hightower. So, so just learning from under different coaches. Like when I got there, I was under Deb Mize, the girls coach. for a couple years, and you know, we were the #1 ranked team in the state in girls basketball. Produced many Division I women athlete to go play basketball at the next level. She's awesome. She's won over 300 games, so I'm learning from her. And then the boys spot opened up on the boys side as an assistant. Then I moved over there, and I was under Vincent Norman. And we just had some great athletes on that side, and I was learning from him. And then, you know, I needed a change of pace, so I ended up going to Cypress Falls in Northwest Houston, where I was under Richard Flores, who's a great coach. They won state about 5 years ago in boys basketball. But I just wanted a new challenge, and I wanted to get out of my norm because I always, you know, was in Fort Bend as far as playing in Fort Bend and coaching in Fort Bend. So I needed to change the pace. So I ended up going to South Falls on the northwest side of Houston. And I mean, it was awesome being under Coach Flores because it was his first year as a head coach. He was an assistant coach. So he had just got the head coaching job, and I thought it would be awesome to be under a first year head coach. And he kind of, you know, he taught me a lot of things, ran very good practices, was real big on details and different things like that. And I'm just putting it, every coach that I've been under, I've always taken something from each coach and kind of added it to my mental Rolodex for when I got my opportunity. So I was at Cy Falls for a year. My daughter was born, so I wanted to get closer to home because we live on the southwest side of Houston, and I was going to the northwest side, which was a long commute. So we had just had our daughter, and Coach Carabon, my high school coach, had an opening on his staff, which, I mean, obviously I could never pass that up. That was home. Yeah. He's my high school coach, and we're kind of back at full circle now.
I was just about to say that.
So I ended up coming back, and I ended up being his first assistant. And I mean, he was awesome, man. I mean, just being at his practices, and I already knew what to expect because I played under him, and I knew what to expect. I kind of knew his expectations, but it was great to be back at home, being in, walking on the same hallways as I once walked 20 years before, getting to coach, some of the guys that I played with. I coached some of their kids that are now going through Dulles. So that was kind of like, wow, this is like crazy, So I'm coaching like my teammate that I graduated with, my teammate's kid. He's in our program and different stuff like that. So, it was awesome, man, being back, at Dulles High School and coaching under one of my mentors. Obviously I learned more, being next to him on the bench, because you kind of see it differently as a coach than I did as a player being under him. It was just amazing, man. I really enjoyed being under him. And, the girls' position opened up, which was like one of those deals where it was like, okay, I haven't been a head coach yet, and I need, some head coaching experience. And I've had experience coaching girls before, because when I started off in middle school, I was coaching 8th grade girls. So I had some experience, but I know that I needed, some head coaching experience. And I knew what the girls program once was at Dulles, from when I was there, and then years after. They were an amazing program. I mean, at one point, they were years ago, they were nationally ranked, produced #1 players in the country, different things like that. So I knew the tradition of the program, and I knew that, this would be an opportunity for me to, be a head coach. They kind of just, slid me over on that side, and like I said, being under Coach Carabon, I talked to him about it, and he was like, man, he was supportive of it. And I, went over to the girls' side, man. And, ironically, when I took that job, the motto was bringing tradition back. So, and I'd say that because now I'm at Iowa Colony, and say, tradition starts now. So when I took over the Dulles girls program, it was bringing tradition back because a lot of the kids didn't know the past of the program and how successful we were. When I took the job, I mean, the program was down for about 8 years. I think they probably made the playoffs one time in the last 8 years. So I knew that we had, some pieces here and there that I could work with. And I knew we had a good middle school class that was solid, that was coming in from next door at Dulles Middle School. So I took that job, man. And it was the best decision I ever made. I was the head coach for 6 years. We made the playoffs my first year, which was huge because we hadn't been in the playoffs for maybe 4 or 5 years before that. We made the playoffs my first year. We lost some great seniors after that season. So we were young that next year. We finished I think 5th or 6th. And then after that, we just took off. Because our middle school girls had a good class that came in on top of some of my younger kids that contributed during that down year. I mean, we took off. We went, state ranked, top 10 in the state those last years. 2 years ago, we got to the third round, 24-0, top 10 in the state, top 10 in points per game, top 10 in steals per game in the state. And the program just really took to new heights. And it wasn't just me that did it. It was the kids, the coaching staff, they believe. And that's what we fed off of, bringing tradition back. So my last year at Dulles, as the head girls coach, Ailey Taylor had a spot open for me. And I wanted to get back over to the boys' side. And, we were at the top at Dulles High School as far as, where we were as a program. And I was bringing back 10 seniors from a 24-1 team at Dulles. So, I wanted to get back to the boys' side because that was always the plan to, one day get back over to the boys' side. And this was my opportunity. So I had to sit them down and tell, a senior-led team that, I won't be coaching them their last year, especially since we went 3 rounds. Like I said, we were 24-1. So, we were looking to make another run. So, I surprised them. Everybody was surprised that I, decided to leave and go to Taylor and, take a boys' job. And it wasn't even a head job at Taylor, it was an assistant job. So everybody was like, you're leaving us to take an assistant job? It's not even a head job. So I kind of took, a step back to take a step forward because I explained that to them. I told them that, we all have dreams and, I want you guys to always follow your dreams. And I told them my dream was to always be a head boys basketball coach. And they understood, they were hurt, but they understood, and I told them that, it's an opportunity for me to get back on the boys' side, and to one day pursue my dream as a head boys coach. So I ended up going to Taylor, man. And, we were, being at a school, I was lucky, like I said, lucky enough to be at a school that was, rich in tradition, and the Iowa Colony job opened up. And like I said, before, I'm just so blessed and lucky to have the opportunity that Miss Marquez and Coach Garza have given me to lead the Pioneers into the future. And we have a lot of young talent, like on the football field, on the basketball field. It's a lot of young talent. We're going to be similar to, how Shadow Creek opened up, where they were young, and then as the years went, they got better and better and better and better, as the classes grew. I think I see Iowa Colony doing the same thing, and it's really growing back there. So, Iowa Colony, it's south of Pearland. It's just growing with communities. And so we're excited, man. We are very excited to blaze the trail.
That's really cool. Hey, I've just got a couple more, Coach Simon. Talk about your family. Just talk about the support you've received from them here in your coaching career.
I've always received, my family has obviously always been supportive. I've been married for 10 years. I have 3 daughters. So You know, being a head coach and coaching in general is tough. It can be tough on family, you know, but they've always been supportive. I always try to include them in things that I've done in my career, as far as, you know, different things that we do as a team. And I always try to, you know, bring them along and kind of include them, because, you know, that's time I get to spend with them, you know, with the practices and games. You know, it gets tough on families, especially coaches' wives on Tuesdays and Fridays, you know, with game nights and stuff like that. So they've always been supportive. They understand, you know, they understand what I do. You know, it's to serve, you know, the community and help kids, you know. I've never alienated them, as far as, you know, me just always, you know, coaching and being away. Like I said, I've always included them. And my wife has always been supportive of me with that since, you know, beginning of my career. So I want to say she's kind of gotten used to the grind, and she kind of falls in as well as the kids. So, you know, they're coaches' kids. You know, we're a coaching family. So, you know, I try to be at everything they do, and, you know, they come and support. They obviously come and support me at my games, and that's how it should be, man. That's why I tell, you know, the other coaches, like, hey, man, spend time with your family when you can. And we try to adjust our schedule where the coaches can spend time with their family, you know, family first. You know, once that's taken care of, everything else will fall into place. So,
that was actually going to be my final question before you get the last word, Coach Simon. What your message and advice would be, you know, to the younger athletes out there, and even the, you know, people wanting to break into the coaching ranks as well?
Just, you know, with me being you know, obviously I was a college athlete for the younger kids, man. You just got to keep grinding. You really, really work. It's a very small percentage of kids that get to the next level. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. You know, like I tell the kids, use your high school experience to make memories. Don't think of it as, you know, I put a lot of pressure on yourself to get to the next level, and you miss out on the good times in high school. Work hard, you know, grind it out, put in the extra work, you know, take care of your grades. And, you know, if you're blessed enough, everything will fall into place. And if it doesn't, you're still blessed to have the opportunity to play, you know, multiple sports in high school and make friends and different things like that. But don't put any, you know, unneeded pressure on yourself to, I got to get a scholarship. You know, just have fun in high school, work hard, and just see where you land. As far as coaches, younger coaches, you know, it's the same thing as when you were an athlete. Just grind, man. You want to one day be a head coach. Sometimes you may have to take a step back to take a step forward, or take a position where you may feel that, you know, you're more experienced, you know, but you may have to take it just to, you know, maybe you have to learn a little bit more here and there. Maybe you have to do a little bit more, you know, just keep grinding, you know, use it as when you were an athlete or being a competitor. You know, go to coaching clinics, you know, network with other coaches. You know, I'm always going to coaching clinic, TABC. I'm going to THSCA, coaching school, you know, just to learn more and get better at your craft. Treat every job, no matter if it's a middle school job or whatever, treat it as if you're coaching the national champions, or, you know, treat every job in coaching as if it's, you know, it's the best job in the city. You know, a lot of coaches already looking at the next opportunity, you know, and you kind of really cheat the kids doing that. Short story, when I started my career, I was coaching, you know, 8th grade girls basketball, you know, and I could have, you know, and I'm coming out of playing competitive college basketball. I could have taken that as, you know, I know more than, you know, whatever, you know, I don't need to be coaching this level, but I took it as an opportunity, and it was one of the best coaching years I've had in my career, you know, and I still have relationships with those girls. They still call, and, you know, some have gotten married, some have had kids, you know, but it was one of the best years I've ever had. And I coached them like I was coaching in college. We did some of the same drills and different stuff like that. And they appreciated it, that I was all in, I wasn't just coaching them, looking at the next job. And that's the thing and that's what we tend to do as coaches. We were always looking at the next promotion or the next opportunity, and we don't take advantage of the opportunity that we have in front of us to be better at our craft and to serve kids. Yeah. So, I think that's the big thing I would leave to tell younger coaches, from my experience. I've coached every level, like they were the best thing since sliced bread, and, you're building relationships, you're becoming a better coach, the parents appreciate it, the kids appreciate it when they see that you're all in. Yeah. So.
Hey, one popped into my head is just about the game of basketball. What has made it so special, not only when you played basketball, but also now here coaching? Just some of the intangibles that really stand out to you that, whether during maybe in a practice or scrimmage or a game, just something that, when you're there on the sidelines that really, you just sit in awe of. I just had to ask you about that from your perspective, Coach Simon.
I think like I told somebody, I think it was another coach a couple of weeks ago or whatever, that I think I'm a basketball lifer, man. I just love basketball. I love teaching it. I think the best part about coaching basketball is practices, the preparation. I think it always keeps you as you get older. I think basketball is kind of like chess. It always keeps your mind engaged, and you just sit back and it's like from where I started, walking to Dulles High School on Dulles Avenue, going to the first tryout to where I'm at now, it's kind of like, wow, a kid that didn't start playing basketball till the 9th grade to where I'm at now, in a top-notch district, at a great school. It's really remarkable in my opinion. I'm just very blessed, but I just sit back sometimes, and just think like, full circle, being under all these different coaches, learning different things. And it was just a build up to where I'm at now. Yeah. I love preparation. I love preparation more than the games. It was a quote I used actually a couple of days ago on Twitter that I heard Frank Martin say. He said, the best preparation, you prepare your kids, you practice your kids in practice, and you manage the games. So practices are supposed to be hard. You get on your kids, you push them to, you push them to the limit. And then in the games, it's supposed to be fun. I really enjoy practices. Games are fun, but practices are better because you're getting kids, better. You're teaching, you're talking to your coaches, seeing what works, what doesn't work. I just think I can see why coaches in football or basketball are in the game for 50 and 60 years. And people are like, why won't he retire? You see the Joe Paternos and the Bobby Bowdens and the John Chaneys and John Thompsons who've been coaching for 40 and 50 years. And it's like, you can't get away from it. You're always going to be around it. And, that's the best part is seeing where I came from to where I'm at now, all the kids that, I've served as well as the other coaches, and just preparing to put these kids in the best situation to be successful, whether that's on the court or off the court, and with myself being in that situation before, playing in college, playing in high school at a high level, I know what it takes to get there. And that's what I tell the kids, like, you're trying to get to where I've already been, and I can give you the tools to get there. You just got to listen, and listen to your coaches, be coachable, because in the end, we want to see you be successful. So just being an athlete, and then now at this point in my career, I guess being a mentor, it's amazing to me and kind of funny because I look back at how I was as a player, and I was kind of intense and different things like that. Now I'm still intense here and there, but I'm kind of toned it down and being more like patient with kids. So it's awesome, man. I love Alvin ISD. I can't wait to blaze the trail. So
yeah, no, definitely. Okay, Coach Simon, you get the last word here. final message to your family, friends, former teammates, teams that you've coached, played at your alma mater, Dulles High School, Livingston College. The floor is yours, as well as Iowa Colony High School. Don't want to forget them as well.
I'm just really excited, man. Myself and the coaching staff, the whole athletic program, we're just really excited to get started, man. With us having the power camp and us having the specific drill training or specific sport training, man, we've seen what we have. Great kids, great families, great communities. We're just really excited to open up Iowa Colony, get these kids on campus, get to work. We're in a great district. We'll be playing against great schools. We'll be representing the Houston area. And we're just very excited to get these kids started, and we're ready to blaze the trail.
Sounds good. Hey, Coach Simon, just an incredible honor and privilege being able to interview you. Thank you again. And again, wishing you all the best and continued success again here at Iowa Colony High School.
Likewise. Thanks for having me. And anything you need, just reach out. I'm always there for you.
Thank you.
All right.